Kevin O, and you're watching Chordal Ukulele 101. Welcome to Lesson 1. Today we will be covering the chords in the key of C major, which you might call the ukulele key. If this is your first Chordal Ukulele 101 video, you might want to check out the introduction first. Alright, before we start learning some chords, let's cover how to strum. Let's look at two different strumming techniques, thumb and index finger. With your thumb, you're going to want to go down with the flesh and up with the thumbnail. Now let's look at strumming with your index finger. Personally, I use this technique most of the time when I'm playing. You're going to want to relax your finger in a sort of downward or curved position like this and strum down with your fingernail and up with your flesh. In this way, it's the opposite of the thumb technique. So it's down with your fingernail and up with your flesh. You're going to want to use your wrist more than your arm using this technique. So you want this motion, not this motion. This makes it difficult. It's all about the wrist. Alright, it's time to dive into the key of C major. All major scales are built with a pattern of whole steps and half steps. This pattern is the same for every major scale, you just start with a different note each time. Here is the key of C major. Each note in the key of C major has a 3-chord note associated with it called a triad. These chords are based upon intervals called thirds. In this list, a third appears 2 notes to the right of a given note. Here's an example of a third above C in the key of C major. Here's an example of a third above B in the key of C major. Now we can build the diatonic triads in C major. First, fill in a third above each note. Next, fill in a third above the new note, a fifth above the original note. Now we have the chords C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and B diminished. In general, major chords have a bright, happier sound, minor chords have a dark, sadder sound, and diminished chords have an even darker, sadder sound. These connotations can change based upon their context within a song. Now let's play each chord in the key of C individually. All of these chords will be voiced in the lowest position possible on the fretboard. We will be moving up the fretboard in future videos. Now, if you are unable to play any of these chords at the time, do not be discouraged. You will get there with practice. And you can play a lot of great songs with just a few of them. And we'll get to that in the practice section of the video. So let's get started. Here is C major, the 1 chord. You are going to need 1 finger on the 1st string, 3rd fret. I recommend using your ring finger on your left hand. As you are learning each of these chords, I recommend playing each string individually like this. This allows you to hear and make sure that each string is ringing out properly. You don't want a buzzing sound like this. So, by strumming each individually, you can make sure each rings nicely. D minor, the 2 chord. You're going to need 3 fingers for this chord. You're going to want to use your index finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret, your ring finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, and your middle finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. You might find it easier to play this chord after you learn A minor and F major. E minor, the 3 chord. You are going to need 3 fingers for this chord. I recommend using your index finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, your middle finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret, and your ring finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret. Please remember not to put too much pressure on your thumb here on the back of the neck. Tendinitis is not fun, believe me on that one. F major, the 4 chord. Place your index finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret, and your middle finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. You might notice that this is very similar to D minor without using your ring finger. G major, the 5 chord. This is the perfect time to show you that there are multiple ways to play the same chord even with the same voicing. If you talk to most people, they will probably say that I play this chord the wrong way. Let's learn it the right way first. Use your index finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, your middle finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, and your ring finger on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. Most of the time, you will see me playing a G major chord with my index finger and middle finger swapped from the way we just learned. It just happens to be the way I learned it. I would recommend playing this chord however you feel most comfortable. There's even another way to play it with only 2 fingers using a sort of bar technique, which we will talk about in a later video. A minor, the 6th chord. Much like C major, you only need 1 finger for this chord. I recommend using your middle finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Using your middle finger allows you to switch to chords like F major or D minor faster. B diminished, the 7th chord. This one's really difficult, and I've never used it in a song, but we're gonna learn it anyway. You need 4 fingers for this. You're gonna wanna use your index finger on the 2nd string, 1st fret, your middle finger on the 3rd string, 2nd fret, your ring finger on the 1st string, 2nd fret, and your pinky finger on the 4th string, 4th fret. Most of the time, if you want to use a diminished chord, you're probably going to use some sort of diminished with a 7th. So this isn't always the most useful, but it's kind of fun. If we add another 3rd to each of these chords, we get what are called 7th chords. This means that each string of the ukulele will be playing a different letter note. Let's take a look at each of the C major 7th chords, nice and quick. C major 7. D minor 7. E minor 7. F major 7. G dominant, or G7. minor 7. B half diminished 7 or B minor 7 flat 5. Now let's practice. We are going to practice switching between two chords and also play a few common chord progressions in the key of C major. Being able to switch more efficiently between two different chords is going to make a big difference in your playing. Feel free to pause the video at any time to practice switching between any of the two chords. Alright, let's get started. And make sure that you are following one of the two strumming techniques we talked about in the beginning of the video. 1-4-1 C F C. This is to help practice switching between C and F. Remember that I recommended using your ring finger to play C major. This is why. It is much easier to play F major when you leave the two fingers you need for F major free while you're playing C major. One 6-4-1 C A minor F C. Let's add A minor into the mix. Remember that I mentioned using your middle finger to play A minor. This allows you to switch to F major nice and easily. One, 2, 5, 1. C, D minor, G, C. If you are just now playing this for the first time, I would recommend splitting this into two different parts. You're going to want to practice switching between C and D minor, and switching between D minor and G. Now let's look at D minor to G. and then G to C. One, 3, 6, 4. C, E minor, A minor, F. Remember not to put too much pressure on your thumb with E minor. As before, you can always break this into sections of just 2 chords, switching between C and E minor, E minor and A minor, A minor to F, F back to C. One, 5, 6, 4. C, G, A minor, F. Simply learning a few chord progressions will help you learn so many different songs. I will be posting a later video about how these common chord progressions are built and give you the building blocks in order to build your own. Congratulations, you have completed Lesson 1 of Chordal Ukulele 101, the key of C major. You can find practice materials in the description. Just leave a comment or a like if you decide to download any of those materials. If you have any questions about this video or anything else, please leave a comment, or you can find me on social media at Kevin O Ukulele. I hope to see you in the next video, the key of G major. Until then, keep on practicing. Alright, thanks for watching.